So welcome to part 2 of Geometry Unit 1, Geometry Basics. I had one more problem I wanted to go through with you guys and just explain how it's similar to what we've done in class already, but not exactly the same. So that is down here at ratios of directed line segments. And if we pull up one of the problems, we'll see that we're looking for the coordinates of a point on the directed segment, and they give us the end points and they tell us what the ratio is going to be. And so when we did those in class, we used a formula. It kind of went like this, where we had this ratio k times the x2 minus x1 plus the original x1. And that would be the x-coordinate of our point. And then we had something similar with the y's. We had to add back the original. This was the formula that we used in class. Now I'm going to pull up an example, and you're going to see that they are going to give you a formula for how to get k, which it adds a lot of extra variables into the formula, but it does make it a little bit simpler. Some of you, the struggle was, here we have 3 to 2, and that 3 to 2 is part to part. And when we get k, we need to have part to whole. So that was a little bit of a challenge when we were doing these problems in class. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we hit the Show Example button. We get a new problem with endpoints of -10 and -2 and 10 and -10. And we get they're asking us for a ratio, so this is the example. They're asking us for a ratio of 3 to 5. So just to give a little picture of what this looks like, I'm going to draw my coordinate plane, and I'm going to give -10 and put it over here, -10, and then -2. So there's -10, -2, and then 10, -10. I'll go about the same distance over here, so that's 10, and -10 I'll put all the way down here. So my line looks like this, and since this is the beginning and this is the end, this is going to be my x1 and y1, and this is +10, -10, and that's x2 and y2. So in my formula, that's where I'm going to plug everything in, and then here's my R1, that's ratio 1 and ratio 2. So you can see in the example, they work out the x's first, and then they work out the y's, and they switch their formula around just a little bit. They put the x1 in front, and then they put the ratio right there. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to, the way they do it, everything's plugged in and worked out here. So I'm just going to show it using our original formula. K, I would take 3/8. And then I'm going to label x1 and y1, x2 and y2, and I'm going to go 10 minus -10. And I don't want to put two negatives next to each other. 10 minus -10, and then plus x1, so plus -10. And then I'm going to show the same thing for my y's, and then I'll work out the math. So my k, again, is 3/8. y2 minus y1, so that's -10 minus -2, plus my y1, which is -2. So when I work out all this math, that's going to be my ordered pair. So I'm going to work it out one step at a time. So we've got 3/8, 10 minus -10. Well, I'm going to add the opposite, so that's 20, plus -10. And then here we have 3/8. Negative 10 minus minus 2. So that's negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8 plus negative 2. All right, so 3/8 of 20 is going to be 7.5 plus negative 10. And then 3/8 of negative 8 is going to be negative 3 plus negative 2. So when I add these together, I get my new point as negative 2.5 comma negative 5. I'm just checking that with the answer. Yes. So that is an example of how you work out a directed line segment, a ratio of a directed line segment problem. So you can go back to the original problem and then you'll plug in the numbers that you're given there, and when you give your final answer, you'll make sure to put in, so when you click the answer button, you're going to come up with this fancy calculator here. You're going to make sure you put in a parenthesis and then you put in the number and use the comma. And so this is a fake answer. This is not really the answer, but I'm just showing you how to type it in. You use the parentheses and the comma for an ordered pair. And I don't know what I did there. So at any rate, that's how you submit your answer. And once you guys get all of these turned in or everything finished for Unit 1, I will see that you're finished because I can log in and look at all of your scores and I'll record it in the homework grades. I'll probably go every, probably not today, but every couple of days and go through and enter in the scores. So once you finish Unit 1, you can go straight on to Unit 2, and I'll try to post some sort of a video every day just to help out. If you have questions about any type of problem, please send those to me on Remind and I'll address them in my videos. Thanks so much. Have a great day.